Like, we're going to get married, and we haven't even had sex. Valentine and I, we are still working on our sexual relationship.
You know, the thing that I find so amusing when it comes to Valentine and Carlos is that based on last season of Love in Paradise, they have not grown one bit. There was legit nothing different. Their relationship has gotten worse. But yet they're still together. But yet they still want to get married. And I say this because they're in a position where they still have not been intimate. And the reason why they haven't been intimate is because in last season, it was revealed that, well, they are both top. And they need someone to be the bottom. And for the people who don't know the difference between a bottom and a top in a gay relationship, well, if you are top, you are the man that is given the penetration. But if you're the bottom, you're the man that is receiving the penetration. You dig what I'm saying? And in this situation, we've got two people who are both the top. So therefore, being intimate is something that they have not done. And it's crazy because you would have thought after all this time, they would have found a way to get around it. Now, of course, last season, Valentine had the idea of, well, why don't we bring in a third wheel? Why don't we bring in someone else to be the one to receive the penetration? Who wants to volunteer their track? Oh boy, I feel sorry for that guy, man. That guy will not be going to toilet for a minute. Or maybe be going to toilet a bit too much. Either way, though, TMI, my apologies. That is a situation that we're in then, and this situation that we're in now. Let's just continue with this shambolic nonsense.
We both agreed to be bottoms at least once, but we haven't agreed who's going to be first. Anyway,
so they've had a conversation now. Well, that's a little bit of improvement. They've had a conversation about about both of them giving it at least one try. That doesn't make any sense. They have both been gay for a very long time, and neither one of them have ever been a bottom because it's not what they like. But now they have agreed that they're gonna have it. That they're both gonna at least be that bottom once. Okay, so after that, what happens? Okay, then what? Are you then going to continue doing the same thing? Because at the end of the day, that is not going to solve your issue. The issue is that intimacy is going to be a myth for you guys. Unless, of course, you are both already stepping out. And to be honest with you, last season, Valentine already admitted that his whole history of men has never necessarily been a loyal one. He loves to dibble-dabble with pretty much everyone. Carlos, on the other hand, did say that no, he's someone that likes to stick to one guy and that's it. Which is quite interesting because for some bizarre reason, he has now found a way to fall in love or at least get feelings for a female. And it's so crazy because Carlos is one of the most contradicted people and it's just like, bro, do you even listen to yourself? Well, hey, we continue.
It's too much. I think Valentine is afraid that if he does it first, I'm not going to do it. And actually, I got the same feeling about him.
I mean, why are they together? They don't even trust each other. So you've had a conversation about both doing it once at least. But now it's like, oh, but who's going to do it first? Like, you're a bunch of kids. Literally a bunch of kids. You know, I feel like I'm back in school again when somebody says, I want to go last. Yes, I want to go last. I don't want to go first. No, me last. No, I want to go last. No, I want to go last. No. Let me go. You know how kids be? We've all been there. These two are grown adults. Grown males here. And they're having a dispute, a situation where they don't trust each other to withhold the situation. Like, end of the day, if you two respect each other, love each other, care for each other, why don't you trust each other? You must not love for each other, care for each other, to be honest with you. I mean, in my opinion, personally, can you have love without trust? No. Can you have care without trust? No. How can you care for me if I don't trust you? How can I love you if I don't trust you? See what I'm saying? I mean, listen, as far as I'm concerned, these two here, they've both been dilly-dallying elsewhere. There's no way that these two have been loyal to each other this whole time. given the fact that they haven't been intimate for this amount of time and they both live in 2 different countries, I can promise you now, these two have been doing a madness. And like I said before, Valentine has already admitted to having a very high sex drive. And also on top of that, you know, sticking to just one guy isn't really his forte. He likes to dibble-dabble a little bit everywhere. And also at the same time, Carlos did manage to get himself in a bit of a situation with another female. Now, of course, whether or not they got intimate or not, which I don't think they did, either way though, we do know that Carlos is still he's still quite close friends with some of his exes as well. And let's be real, if his exes are still single, and they're available, and he knows that those cheeks are ready to spread, man's gonna go for the deed. But anyway, we continue with this shambolic relationship.
With 8 days until the wedding, Carlos and I have a lot of unresolved issues. Honestly, more issues than I'd like to have with the person I'm about to marry.
But you're gonna marry him, aren't you, regardless? That's it. You know, it's crazy, right? I once knew a gay guy once, you know. And he said something very interesting, which these two are definitely contradicting a whole lot more. I mean, don't get me wrong, when he said this to me, I was like, bro, that ain't true. That's not how life works. But this guy had the audacity to try and tell me that gay relationships are more secure than straight relationships. Why? Because you see, as men, we understand each other more, so therefore we're less likely to get each other's nerves. Huh? What kind of nonsense is this? You know, it's crazy because even when it comes to two females in a relationship, doesn't mean the relationship is going to be better than a straight relationship. In fact, I've heard that female relationships are more toxic than the male relationship, to be fair with you, because of the hormones and the whole shebang. It's just interesting though, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, obviously for one second, I did not believe that guy one bit anyway, because I really and truly, I knew where his agenda was, you know what I mean? Okay, because sadly, stereotypically, there are some gay people out here who will do what they can to try and persuade a straight man to have a little bit of hanky with them. Yeah, I wasn't buying none of that. This guy was telling me all sorts of things, man. I won't lie to you. When man tried to make a move for me, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna entertain you because I want to see what you got to say, man. I need to learn these words of manipulation just so I can hear them out. You know what I mean? Man telling me, listen, man, I have fun with straight men all the time. But they're not straight, then are they? No. They are straight. They're married. They got this and that. It's just that they want to have a little bit of fun and experiment with themselves. Well, then they're not straight, are they? No, they're still straight. I was like, well, guess what? I'm straight, and I only like women, and I'm only ever gonna like women. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously this guy was like, yeah, but listen, man, like, gay relationships are so much more secure. You know? You have so much fun to do what you want to do yourself, you know, because us men understand each other. I was like, oh, is that right? Is that right? He's like, listen, and this is the catch. Obviously, I got a partner, I got a boyfriend, yeah, but he knows that I go do things with straight men anyway. And he goes and does the same thing. See? Life as a gay man, it's just so much more relaxed. You ain't got to worry about all that madness. I'm sitting thinking, man, this is hilarious. You are not convincing me one bit because, well, not because you're convincing is terrible, but because I am straight. I love the vagina. Ah, yes. TMI. But anyway, point being is that their relationship is a definition to say that gay relationships are not necessarily better than straight relationships. In matter of fact, at the end of the day, there is no type of relationship that is better than any. Just I'm saying, okay, people in this world now will say a gay one is better than a straight one, or a straight one is better than a lesbian one, or a poly one is better than a monogamous one, blah, blah, blah. None of that stuff exists, man. At the end of the day, a relationship is good if the two people or the people involved have a good foundation of trust, communication, respect, love, the whole shebang, if you dig what I'm saying. But either way though, you guys let me know what you're thinking down below. Do you think that their relationship is really gonna go that extra mile? Do you really think that getting married is gonna solve all of their problems? And do you think that once maybe they do finally try one of them being the bottom, do you think that's gonna solve their intimacy issue and then they'll both happily want to volunteer to be all the time? I don't know. You guys let me know. Of course, I'm sure we got some gay people in the building. Let me know your intake on their relationships and how you would go about it if you did what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm straight, so I can't really say too much. But anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to like, sub, and of course,